Our topic of discussion today is the second chapter from our textbook, Era of One Party Dominance. Era of One Party Dominance. Then, which is the one party? This party won all the elections after independence up to a particular time, especially for 3 decades. Whenever an election conducted at the center, the only one party won all the elections at the center. Which was the party? All you know, it was Indian National Congress, or simply we can say that the Congress party itself. And which is the era? The era starts from the first election 1952 up to the period of 1977 during the time of emergency. In this period, whenever an election conducts in India, the only one party succeed all elections. That was Indian National Congress. So this period is known as the era of one party dominance. Then come to the first election, in which Indian National Congress won with a great victory in India. Dr. Sukumar Sen was appointed as the first election commissioner of India, and he decided to conduct the first general election in India. But we think at that time it was not possible to conduct an election in India comfortably. Then the question arises, what were the impediments, what were the blockades, or what were the difficulties faced by Sukumar Sen at the time of the first election? That is the first questions to be discussed today. We can say that there were many difficulties to be faced at the time of the first general election. What are they? Number one, illiteracy of the people was the first difficulty faced by Sukumar Sen. A literate mass can easily cast their votes, but at the same time, if the people are illiterate, it is a very difficult task to make them understand the process of election. That was a difficulty. And the second problem was delimiting the constituencies created many problems. You know the constituencies from our first year, Niyojaka Mandalam. Delimitation of constituencies, redrawing the areas or boundaries of the constituencies create many problems. At that time, there is no comfortable equipment to do all this. And the third difficulty was maintaining a voters list, a perfect voters list. That was a must for election, but the difficulty was a huge population, a large mass of the population, a large territory of India created many problems during the first election. The fourth difficulty at that time was when the women were given the chance to vote doubled the number of voters. In this time, we have to say some other foreign countries did not allow their women to cast their votes. That is to be remembered here. But the India government immediately after independence allowed the women to cast their votes. That also created many difficulties to make the voters list. And the fifth difficulty was the impartial and capable officials were very few, and the lack of impartial executives for conducting an election create many problems at the time of the first general election. And sixth difficulty, we can say that the large size of the population and large size of the country create many problems for Sukumar Sen to conduct comfortable election. And this population, how they are controlled and how they are enlisted in the voters list also was a question before him. The seventh difficulty was poverty and unemployment that create economic instability in India. At that time the election was conducted. Many of the critics criticized Sukumar Sen for going to conduct this type of election. They criticized it as a gambling. But Overcoming all these impediments, Sukumar Sen decided to conduct the election himself in India, and he succeeded in his attempt. So we have to understand the impediments or difficulties at the time of the first election, and it will be asked as a short question in your examination. Then the result of the first election declared. There was no wonder. As everybody expected, Indian National Congress won a stunning victory in the first general election. Here the next question arises. What were the factors that led to the victory of Indian National Congress? Not only this first election but the consecutive elections, Indian National Congress won with a large majority. Then what are the factors contributing to their success? That is the next question. The first factor is the charismatic leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru. We know he was a freedom fighter. He was the first Prime Minister of India. The presence of Jawaharlal Nehru in the Congress party, the people decided to cast their votes to the Congress party alone. So that led to the success or victory of Congress party. That was the first point. The second point is that the legacy of the freedom struggle. The only party in India claimed the legacy of freedom struggle was Indian National Congress. So the whole people supported the Congress party. That gave them a huge success in the first general election. Then the third point, party of freedom fighters. Indian National Congress was the party of the freedom fighters. All the freedom fighters, including Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Bal Gangadhar Tilakan, Subhash Chandra Bose, all are belongs to the Congress party. So the people cast their votes to the party. That leads to their success. Then the fourth point is that Indian National Congress had a strong basement. On that basement, International Congress built up their party. So the people believed in it. That was another cause. And the fifth one was the people trusted in the party. The people had a great trust in the party because it was the party of Jawaharlal Nehru and Mahatma Gandhi and many of the freedom strugglers. So the people cast their votes to the Congress party. That leads to their success. The sixth point is that Indian National Congress was an umbrella-like party, an umbrella party, an umbrella that usually gives shelter to all others. Like the Congress party gave shelter to the whole people, whether they are rich or poor, peasants or daily workers or employees, all are get comfortable shelter under the umbrella of Indian National Congress. So the people trusted the party, they cast their votes to the party. That always leads to the success of Indian National Congress. So these 6 or 7 factors that contributing the success of Congress party in the elections, the first elections, consecutive elections in India. So these questions also can be expected from this topic. Then the next question from this chapter is how the Congress dominant system in India is different from the single party system existed in China and Cuba. You know, when the Congress dominance existed in India, at the same time some countries like China and Cuba had their own single dominant party system. Now our question is, what is the difference between the Congress dominant system existed in India and the single party system existed in China and Cuba? Then we can try to find the answer emphasizing on 2 points. One is democratic way and the second is rights, especially fundamental rights or human rights. Then When the Congress system exists in India, that exists only on the basis of a democratic way. That means there were many political parties in India, many politicians in India, all were got their own opportunity to take part in the political affairs of the country. Nobody was prevented from their own duties, and the citizens ensured their universal adult franchise, and the opposition parties had their own privileges. But in Cuba and China, there was a type of totalitarian government was existed at that time when the Congress system existed in India. Then the second point is human rights or rights of the people. In India, when the Congress ruled, all citizens, all parties and all organizations enjoyed their own rights, especially political rights and their fundamental rights, etc. But at the same time, if we look to China and Cuba or Germany or Italy, there were no freedom. The citizens of that countries did not allow to enjoy their fundamental rights or human rights. Their rights were very limited, and the totalitarian rulers suppressed the entire humanity in their country. So that type of dominant single party system was quite different from that of the Congress dominant system in India. Then we can write that answer on the basis of 2 points, the rights and the democratic way or democracy. Then another question may be asked from this chapter is about opposition parties. Name the opposition parties and their leaders and their ideologies. I think there is a list in your textbook. Now we can familiar with this. The first party is Socialist Party. Their leaders Jayaprakash Narayan, Ashok Mehta, Acharya Narendra Dev, Ram Mohan Lohia, etc. And their ideology is democratic socialism. And the second party is Communist Party of India, CPI. Their leaders A.K. Gopalan, S.A. Dange, M.S. Namboodiripad, P.C. Joshi, etc. And their ideology is communism. Then the third party is Bharatiya Janasangam. Their leaders Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, Deen Dayal Upadhyaya, Balraj Madhok. Their ideology was one country, one nation, one culture. And the fourth party is Swatantra Party. Their leaders Rajagopalachari, K.M. Munshi, etc. And their ideology was they are ready to stand with American capitalism and for privatization. Another important area you have to keep in your mind is that the communist victory in Kerala under the leadership of E.M.S. Namboodiripad. In 1957 election, immediately after forming Kerala, Communist Party of India came into power under the leadership of E.M.S. Namboodiripad. He tried to introduce two important bills. One was educational bill and the second was agrarian bill. But the two bills were strongly opposed by the opposition parties in Kerala. As a result of which, a struggle happened here. That struggle was known as liberation struggle or Vimojana Samara. And this strike strongly affected the life of the people. Then the central government decided to disperse the government of Kerala under Article 356 of the Constitution. But the first time in the history of Communist Party of India, a communist government came into power through democratic election was in Kerala. That is the importance here.